Hello, welcome to PG Pathshala. This is paper 6, Radiation Biophysics, module 5th, X-ray production. I am Dr. Sunil Dutt Sharma from Radiological Physics and Advisory Division of Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Mumbai. The objective of this module is to explain the principles of X-ray production, the physics and mechanism of production of characteristic X-ray and OJ electron, nomenclature convention of characteristic X-rays, the physics and mechanism of production of Bremsstrahlung X-rays, the nature of X-ray spectrum produced using a high atomic number target, factors affecting the quality and quantity of X-ray beam. Introduction. X-rays of energy 20 to 150 kV are generally used in diagnostic radiology for visualization of various internal structures of human body. It is therefore required to produce X-rays for their use in human healthcare program. The characteristics of X-ray produced depends on several parameters. It is essential to identify and understand the effect of those parameters. First, the principle of X-ray production. X-ray is an extranuclear electromagnetic radiation. For production of X-rays, a thick target is bombarded by energetic electrons, which is called as accelerated electrons, incident electrons, projectile electrons or high speed electrons. These energetic electrons interact with the atomic electrons of the target and the atomic nuclei of the target and lose energy, which results in production of X-rays. In case of diagnostic radiology, a specially designed X-ray tube is used for producing X-rays. In the X-ray tube, electrons are generated by the filament, that is called cathode, and accelerated towards the target, which is called anode, and is usually made from tungsten, which is having atomic number Z is equal to 74, under the influence of a applied potential difference, usually of the order of a few tens of 100. The accelerated electrons interact with target atoms in several ways. Some electrons lose their kinetic energy through multiple collisions with electrons of the target atoms along their path. Kinetic energy of projectile electrons thus released in the target will appear as heat energy in the target. Certain number of projectile electrons ionizes the target atoms, which results in the production of characteristic X-rays. Those electrons which travel close to the nucleus of target atoms experience attractive pull towards positively charged nuclei, which results in their deceleration and release energy in the form of X-rays. These X-rays are known as Bremsstrahlung X-rays, a German term literally meaning breaking radiation or radiation produced from the breaking of projectile electrons. So now we will discuss about characteristic X-rays. When energetic electrons pass through a medium, that is target, they interact with the atomic electrons and lose energy through the process of excitation and ionization. In case of excitation, some of the kinetic energy of energetic electron is transferred to the atomic electrons, and the atomic electrons are pushed in a cell farther from the atomic nucleus, leaving a vacancy in the original cell. When the energy transferred to the atomic electron exceeds its binding energy, the atomic electron is ejected from the atom. This process is called ionization of the atom, that is positively charged atom due to removal of electron. Whenever a vacancy is created in the inner atomic shell, either through the process of ionization or excitation, it is filled up by an electron from an outer shell. This results in a vacancy in the outer shell, which is filled up by an electron from the next outer shell, and the whole process is repeated, producing a cascade of transitions. Each transition from outer shell to inner shell is associated with emission of energy, which is equal to difference in binding energy of the outer and inner shell involved, in the form of electromagnetic radiation. The energy released in each transition may be carried away either by electromagnetic radiation or by an electron ejected from the outer shell called Auger electron. The probability of Auger electron production decreases with increasing atomic number of the target. The emission of energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation may be in the visual, ultraviolet or X-ray region of the electromagnetic spectrum, depending on the atomic number of the target material and involved atomic shells. Since the energy released in the form of X radiation in this process is equal to the difference in binding energy of outer and inner shells involved, it is a characteristic of the target atom, and hence these X-rays are called characteristic or fluorescent X-ray. It is obvious from the above discussion that characteristic X-rays are monoenergetic. The figure shows a schematic diagram to illustrate the production of characteristic X-ray. In this figure, number 1 is energetic electron striking the target. Number 2 represents K shell electron knocked out from the target atom. Number 3, transition of L shell electron to occupy the vacant position at K shell. And 4 is emission of K characteristic X-rays. So you can see from this figure that when high speed projectile electrons strike the K shell electron and these electrons are taken out of the atomic shell, the vacancy is filled up by L shell electron. So this difference in L shell and K shell energy is emitted in the form of X-rays, which is called characteristic X-ray. Now, nomenclature convention of characteristic X-rays. Characteristic X-ray is identified by the shell number of the target atom to which the transition of atomic electron is taking place. For example, if a vacancy of electron is created at the K shell of the tungsten target by the energetic electron and characteristic X-ray is produced due to transition of atomic electron from any of the higher shell like L, M or N of the tungsten to the K shell of the tungsten, this characteristic X-ray will be called as K characteristic X-ray of the tungsten or K radiation of tungsten. Similarly, if the vacancy of electron is created at L shell of the tungsten and characteristic X-ray is produced due to transition from any of the higher shell to L shell of the tungsten, this characteristic X-ray will be called as L characteristic X-ray of the tungsten or L radiation of the tungsten. Further, characteristic X-ray will be produced due to transition of atomic electron either from the neighboring shell or non-neighboring shell. While naming the characteristic X-ray, the origin of the electron filling the vacancy is indicated by the subscript alpha and beta. For example, the K characteristic X-ray produced due to transition of atomic electron from L shell, that is neighboring shell, is designated as K alpha X-ray, and transition of electron from M or N cell, non-neighboring cell, is designated as K beta X-rays. Naming the characteristic X-rays. Additional subscripts are also used for naming the characteristic X-ray to indicate the subcells involved in transition. For example, K alpha and K beta characteristic X-rays of tungsten are further named as K alpha 1, K beta 1, K alpha 2, K beta 2 characteristic X-rays. For example, K alpha 1 indicates or having the energy as Ek alpha 1, which is equal to energy of L3 subcell minus energy of K subcell, which is equal to minus 10.2 kV minus 69.5 kV, which is finally equal to 59.3 kV. In case of K alpha 2, the energy of K alpha 2 X-ray Ek alpha 2 is equal to difference in energy of L1 cell minus K cell, which is equal to 58 kV. The energy of K beta 1 characteristic X-ray is indicated by Ek beta 1, which is equal to difference in energy of M3 cell and K cell, and the energy of this K beta 1 of tungsten is 67.2 kV. The K beta 2 X-ray is having energy of 69.1 kV as calculated from indicating the energy of the cells concerned involved in the transition. The energies of K characteristic X-rays of target materials commonly used in diagnostic X-ray tubes are given in this table. This table also includes the atomic number and energy of K and L cell of the tungsten. Now you can see in this figure, target material is tungsten, rhodium, molybdenum. Their atomic number are also given, that is tungsten is having atomic number of 74, rhodium is having atomic number of 45, and molybdenum is having atomic number of 42. Binding energy of the cells of these materials are also listed in table. For example, tungsten L1 cell binding energy is 12.1, L2 cell 11.54, L3 cell 10.21. For rhodium, L1 cell binding energy is 3.41, L2 cell 3.515, and L3 cell is 3 kV. For molybdenum, the binding energy of L1 cell is 2.87, L2 cell is 2.63, and L3 cell is 2.52. K cell binding energy of tungsten is 69.5 kV, of rhodium is 23.22 kV, and molybdenum is 20 kV. So energy of the K characteristic X-rays of these targets are, for example, K alpha 1 X-ray is having energy of 59.3 kV, K alpha 2 58 kV, K beta 1 67 kV, and K beta 2 69 kV for tungsten. In case of rhodium, K alpha 1 is having energy of 20.2, K alpha 2 20.07, K beta 1 22.72, K beta 2 23.17, and molybdenum, these energies respectively are 17.48, 17.37, 19.61 and 19.97. Now we will discuss the production of Bremsstrahlung X-rays. When an electron passes close to the nucleus of target atom, it interacts with the nucleus through inelastic interaction. In this interaction, the projectile electron experiences an electromagnetic force and gets deflected from its path, resulting in transfer of energy to X-ray photon. As the X-ray photon is emitted in the slowing down process of projectile electron, that is due to braking effect of projectile electron by the nucleus of the target atom, the emitted X-ray photon is called Bremsstrahlung. The production of Bremsstrahlung X-ray is further illustrated by the schematic diagram. The mechanism of Bremsstrahlung X-ray production is depicted in these two figures. Here you can see that an incident electron is passing close to the nucleus of the target material. When the approach to the nucleus is close, the electron does not move along its trajectory, rather it is deflected from its trajectory. This deflection is due to the influence of Coulomb force of the nucleus, and when electron is decelerated or deviated from its path of movement, there is a loss of energy in form of electromagnetic radiation. This electromagnetic radiation is nothing but Bremsstrahlung X-ray. If a projectile electron is completely stopped in the Coulomb field of the nucleus, Bremsstrahlung will appear with entire energy of the electron. The energy of Bremsstrahlung produced depends on the energy of projectile electron, degree of deceleration they undergo near the nucleus, etc. Hence, in an X-ray beam, Bremsstrahlung appears with all energies below and including the energy of projectile electrons. Thus, Bremsstrahlung X-ray is polyenergetic. The probability of Bremsstrahlung production is proportional to Z square, that is, Z is the atomic number of material, and hence high Z target material are preferred. The efficiency of Bremsstrahlung production is given by a relation which is represented below. Bremsstrahlung X-ray, the probability of Bremsstrahlung production Pb is directly proportional to a square of atomic number Z of the medium and inversely proportional to the square of mass m of the incident particle, that is, Pb is directly proportional to Z of medium upon mass of particle square. So, high Z targets are more effective than low Z targets. The energy of Bremsstrahlung depends on the energy of projectile electrons, degree of deceleration, and a number of other parameters. In an X-ray beam, Bremsstrahlung appears with all energies below and including the energy of projectile electrons, that is, Bremsstrahlung X-ray is polyenergetic. Efficiency, that is, the Bremsstrahlung photons are the major component of the X-ray spectrum and constitute more than 80% of the X-ray output. The efficiency of Bremsstrahlung production B is given by the following empirical relation. B is equal to collisional energy loss by radiative energy loss, which is equal to energy of electron in kV by Z of target material upon 8,20,000. If we allow 100 kV electron to strike a tungsten target, that is Z value is 74, the efficiency of Bremsstrahlung production is less than 1%. Now we will discuss X-ray spectrum. The figure shows the emission spectrum of a tungsten anode of diagnostic X-ray tube operated at 100 kbp. The dotted line shows the unfiltered X-ray beam spectrum, which is a theoretical spectrum, while the solid line shows filtered X-ray beam spectrum including K characteristic X-rays. Filtration eliminates the low energy X-rays from the beam and the beam is called filtered or hardened beam. The area under the curve, that is solid line, represents the total number of the X-ray photons, both characteristic and Bremsstrahlung. It is observed from this figure that Bremsstrahlung photons are the major component of the X-ray spectrum emitted by the X-ray tubes, and they constitute more than 80% of the X-ray output from an X-ray tube. Contribution of characteristic X-rays to the total X-ray output and the energy range where it occurs in the X-ray spectrum depends upon the target material. When energetic electrons are allowed to strike a high Z target for production of X-rays, they are slowed down and are stopped in the target within a range of a few micrometers. The depth of penetration of electrons in the target material depends on the accelerating potential and target material. Thus, X-rays are not generated at the surface of the target but within the target, resulting in an attenuation of the X-ray beam. The attenuation of X-ray is called filtration, and as it is happening in the material in which it is produced, the phenomenon is called self-filtration. The self-filtration appears most prominent at the low energy end of the spectrum, that is left hand side of the curve. The Bremsstrahlung photons are the major component of the X-ray spectrum emitted by the X-ray tubes, and they constitute more than 80% of the X-ray output from an X-ray tube. Contribution of characteristic X-rays to the total X-ray output and the energy range where it occurs in the X-ray spectrum depends upon the target material. As discussed earlier, when the applied potential is higher than the binding energy of the K cell of the target atom, K characteristic radiation appear in the spectrum, which is visible as tall towers in the curve. The L characteristic radiation is almost absorbed in the filter material. Here it is 2.5 mm aluminum equivalent, and hence it is not visible in the curve. Now we will discuss factors affecting the nature of X-ray spectrum and quality and quantity of X-ray beam. The quality of X-ray beam is defined in terms of its ability of penetration, which is related to the mean energy of the X-ray spectrum. The nominal quality of the diagnostic X-ray spectrum is expressed in terms of kVp, that is peak kilovoltage. However, peak kilovoltage alone is not a good indicator of the penetration power of the X-ray beam. Hence, X-ray beam quality is measured and specified in terms of half value thickness in aluminum or copper. HVT is defined as that thickness of observer, that is aluminum or copper, which reduces the beam intensity to half of its original value. Higher HVT is the indicator of higher penetration power of the beam, and the beam is called as higher quality X-ray beam. X-ray quantity is nothing but the number of photons in the X-ray beam, that is number of photons in a given area, that is intensity. It is measured in terms of exposure, either in the unit of Roentgen or Coulomb per kg. Following parameters affect the nature of X-ray spectrum as well as quality and quantity of X-ray beam. First, beam current, that is a stream of energetic electrons flowing from cathode to anode, which is usually expressed in milliampere, that is mA. The beam current controls total quantity of X-ray photons of all energies in the X-ray beam. The amplitude of the X-ray spectrum is changed with change in beam current. However, the shape of the spectrum remains the same. This has been shown in the figure. The figure shows the spectrum of X-ray tube operated at 80 kVp. In the first case, the tube current is 100 mA, and in the second case, the tube current is 200 mA. So now we see here that there is no change in the nature of the spectrum except the change in the amplitude of the spectrum. Thus, varying the beam current varies the quantity of X-ray but do not alter the quality of X-ray. Applied potential affects both quality and quantity of the X-ray beam. Changing the kVp changes both the amplitude and the shape of the X-ray spectrum. In addition, changing the kVp also changes the minimum wavelength of the X-ray beam. This has been shown in the figure. The figure shows X-ray spectrum for the X-ray tube operated at two different energy, one as 80 kVp and another at 100 kVp. So now we see here that changing kVp changes both the amplitude and the shape of the spectrum. Changing kVp changes the minimum wavelength as well. Now the filtration. Filtration decreases beam quantity and increases mean energy and thereby quality of the X-ray beam. The addition of filter, that is absorbers or attenuators, causes a spectrum to decrease in amplitude and shift towards higher energy side. Number of X-ray photons decreases with increasing filtration, but mean energy increases. The atomic number of target affects both quality and quantity of X-ray beam. As atomic number of the target Z increases, the efficiency of X-ray production increases as well as energy of both Bremsstrahlung and characteristic X-rays also increases. So figure shows the effect of target material on nature of X-ray spectrum and quality and quantity of the X-ray beam. X-ray spectrum is plotted for different targets. First is gold, second is tungsten, third is rhodium and fourth is molybdenum. These targets are of different Z value, so we can observe from here as the Z value of the target increases, X-ray production efficiency increases. However, if we consider other characteristic of the target material, one has to select a optimum target which satisfies other characteristic of the target, not only the efficiency of production of X-ray. But from this figure we can conclude that gold seems to be one of the best target, but practically we know that tungsten is one of the most suitable targets for production of X-rays. Waveform of the applied potential also affect both nature and quality and quantity of X-ray beam. Three-phase and high-frequency generators are more efficient in producing X-ray photons as shown in the figure. Reduced voltage ripple causes an increase in the quantity and quality of X-ray beam. The amplitude of X-ray spectrum also increases and shifts towards higher energy. So now we will summarize the discussion we have in this module. X-rays of energy 20 to 150 kV are generally used in diagnostic radiology. X-ray is an extranuclear electromagnetic radiation. For production of X-rays, a thick target is bombarded by energetic electrons. The interaction of energetic electrons with electrons and nuclei of target atoms results in production of X-rays. X-rays are of two types, namely characteristic and Bremsstrahlung X-rays. In diagnostic radiology, a specially designed X-ray tube is used for production of X-rays. In diagnostic radiology, tungsten, rhodium and molybdenum are commonly used as target materials for production of X-rays, and majority of energetic electron energy is converted into heat and a small fraction is only converted as X-ray energy. Characteristic and energy of X-ray spectrum depends on the choice of target material and energy of projectile electrons. The nature of X-ray spectrum and quality and quantity of X-ray photon depends on current of energetic electron beam, applied potential, total filtration, target material and voltage waveform. So thank you for attending this module.